All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig in a Pickle Krug Show with a little 49er update as Kyle Shanahan spoke on Monday after the 49ers knocked off the Commanders and claimed the number one seed in the NFC playoffs. The road to the Super Bowl rolls through Levi's Stadium, and Monday Kyle Shanahan talked a little bit about some of the injuries that his team has gone through. And of course, we're brought to you by Pig in a Pickle, the best barbecue in Northern California. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check that link in the description. Use the promo code Krug, and they'll match you up to your first $100. Okay, so first let's talk a little bit about Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey sustained a mild calf strain, and Shanahan indicated that he's not going to be out very long. He'll be out this week against the Rams, but they're not concerned that it's a long-term deal for McCaffrey. When he was asked about his level of confidence in McCaffrey being available for the first playoff game, Shanahan said, yeah, we're real confident on that, and it was good news. It could have been a lot worse, so we're happy. We'll take care of him this week, and hopefully he'll start getting to go during our week off. So you're not going to see McCaffrey against the Rams. Now, you're probably going to see some combination of Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason, but you definitely won't see Christian McCaffrey. Shanahan also stated the other big news in the presser today is that Ambry Thomas, the starting cornerback, is going to undergo surgery on his broken hand on Tuesday, tomorrow, and he'll be out. But he's only going to be out 1 week. There was a chance that he even could have the surgery and play on Sunday against the Rams. But obviously now with that being a game that the 49ers don't have to have, Ambry Thomas will still have that surgery on Tuesday. He'll miss the Ram game, but he'll just miss that 1 week. Shanahan, when he was asked about would it be a longer-term deal, he said it would only be this week. I think they even told me twice. They even told me before the Washington game that he would get the surgery this Tuesday, and then he still could have had an outside chance to play this Sunday. So I doubt that we would risk that now in this situation that we're in. But that makes me feel pretty confident for our next game that he'll be available. So Ambry's going to have the surgery on the hand, and then he will be available. Shanahan also indicated that Trent Williams will sit out this game. Obviously, the 49ers star left tackle. Now, one thing to remember, a lot of people have stated, hey, they can just pull everybody off the practice squad and play all those guys. Only 2 guys can be called up off the practice squad each week. After that point, you have to clear guys through waivers, and the Niners are just not going to do that. So you're going to see a couple guys come off the practice squad, but just a couple guys. As far as some of the other key contributors, Eric Armstead, has got plantar fasciitis, has a little bit of knee pain going on. Shanahan indicated they're going to continue to rest Eric Armstead and get him ready for the playoffs. As far as Ross Dwelly's got a high ankle sprain, and he's also not likely to go this week. They're resting him up for the playoffs. Also, Jawan Jennings and Jalen Moore are both still in the concussion protocol, and there was no indication whether either of them will play against the Rams. My guess is that neither would play against the Rams. Kyle Shanahan was asked about Brock Purdy. Is he going to play Brock Purdy? And he said he was unsure if Purdy's going to start versus the Rams or not, and that they haven't made their decision. They're still kind of going through that. I think they'd love for Purdy to play and then maybe, come out of the game after maybe a series or so and just get that practice reps, suit up, play like you're, go about things during the week like you're going to play and then not play. But needless to say, they're going to be very, very conservative with Brock Purdy. So even if he can go, I can't imagine he would play more than a few plays, and then it's Sam Darnold time. As far as Jer Brown's an interesting one. He's got a sprained knee. He says Jer Brown will continue to rehab, and we'll see how it goes this week. I'm not sure whether or not he's got a chance to play or not. So I think in an ideal world, they probably keep Jer Brown and his knee sprain out another week. Sebastian Joseph Day, the 49ers' newest defensive lineman, did play 11 snaps in this game against the Commanders. Shanahan indicated that he'll play a significantly larger number of snaps, most likely, against the Rams. The interesting thing about Sebastian Joseph Day is he's been in a two-gap system and, kind of a two-gap read and react system. Now he's going from that to like a one-gap, penetrate, get up the field, rush the passer kind of a D-line approach and system. It's a totally different scheme than what he's used to. And so for him to, hit the ground, come in for a couple practices, and then be able to play even 11 snaps, Shanahan was impressed by that. But he also indicated that, there's a little bit of a transition period as they're trying to teach Sebastian Joseph Day how to play within their scheme, which is a much more of a one-gap penetrating, get up the field kind of a scheme. Shanahan also noted that the two wide receivers that are dinged up, Ray McCloud and Danny Gray, may be close to returning. He said Ray may practice on Wednesday, and he could be set to return. Also, Danny Gray has had his 3-week window opened, so they've got 2 more weeks now to either activate him or put him on season-ending IR. Shanahan was quoted as saying they'll come back in and practice this week. He says, I believe Danny's got 2 more weeks of his practice window open, and Ray will start his window on Wednesday as soon as we start practicing. So Ray will have a chance to be up this week, and we'll see how it goes with Danny Gray. So it doesn't sound like, Gray is a priority at this point that he's going to play. This is going to be an interesting week because you can only rest so many guys. You can't rest everybody. You can't call your entire practice squad up and say, hey, fit you 16 guys all active and play. You can do it, but you'd have to put guys through waivers, and you're just not going to do that and take the risk of losing players. So I think you're going to see some players playing in this game that you normally would think, hey, in a situation they'll probably sit. But I would imagine the 49ers are going to lean on a lot of their younger players. I'd love to see D. Winters and Jalen Graham. I'd love to see a lot of Robert Beal. I'd love to see a lot of Samuel Womack and Darrell Luter. I'd love to see some of the backup offensive linemen. And obviously the 49ers are going to try to use their depth as much as possible. If Brock Purdy plays, I can't imagine he would play more than a series, but that's going to be determined later in the week. So there you go. There's the update on Monday from Santa Clara after the 49ers beat the Commanders and clinch that number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. Once again, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. And, of course, this video is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Check that link in the description. Use the promo code KRUEG, K-R-U-E-G, and they'll match you up to your first $100. And thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.